So I'm trying to make over 33K in the next 33 days trading just 60 minutes a day. I've already done this challenge once, and quite frankly, it didn't go so well. And if it goes that bad again, I'm gonna blow up my account, which is my own money. Now my strategy is looking for a quick flush and reversal in the first 30 minutes of the stock market open. All I look for is that specific setup every single day. And if it doesn't happen, I just move on to the next day. So let's start this challenge and jump into trade number 1. I think I'm gonna get short in here. It's a nice little spike higher. Definitely the initial target would be somewhere down here. I want to give it time though, just because I like this spot as a bigger picture if we're gonna move down for the day, but also like I'm not gonna just let it just do its thing and bounce here and then just come back, and if it's just gonna be choppy. I want to be in this if it's gonna rip down, but if it's just gonna do a little bounce and then pull up, then I want to be out. Doesn't look good right now, but also it does look, on a choppy day like today, it could just be a pullback and then a continue lower. Oh, bummer, out on this trade, but I mean, I think it was a good entry. I'm happy with it. I think just the bigger trend was too strong to reverse. So I'm jumping in along here. We've had a really nice flush lower in the opening 15 minutes, and big picture, we've had a big sell-off overnight. And so I think we might have essentially a fake lower here and then a rip higher potential. This was a little too aggressive to get it on this candlestick because it could just pop up here, recover this a little bit, and then continue lower. But seeing it pull back here, essentially make a higher low, and then I got in on the break of this swing high here. So that essentially confirms it's making a higher low and starting to make higher highs as well. Pretty much the opening price is here. And so I don't think I'll go break even until it kind of comes up here to 2x. Big picture here is, that we've been in a strong uptrend, and we had FOMC yesterday, lots of volatility, good potential to rip back up today. I don't know if I'll be able to hold through that whole move, which is totally fine. I would rather just capture the initial easy spike this morning, but I do want to try and be patient with this, because sometimes these flushes in the morning, it could pop up here, pull back, and then rip higher. And because today has such a high volatility chance, I want to give it some wiggle room. I'm not gonna get out on a 3x here, I think. Maybe a 4 if it just spikes like that. Now, if you're new to futures or haven't landed on a trading platform you like, I use NinjaTrader. I've used it for over 5 years. You can check it out via this QR code or the link in the description below. As this goes kind of parabolic here, I like to get out if it breaks that, because it's hard, because there is big potential today and a big picture to continue higher. But there's also these, I just want to mark these as minor reversal zones, which can cause a move that's this aggressive to turn around. That's kind of what I'm seeing here today. I think at this point, because I've hit 2x, I'm gonna go break even. If it pulls all the way back here, I'm gonna get out. I don't want to risk a loss at that point. I'm pretty much having a mental stop at this point, because this is just going crazy. And obviously I've been super patient the whole week, and this is, my heart rate is spiking and I'm nervous and excited. In terms of management, I mean, obviously I'm gonna get out if it comes all the way down here. I would like to get out somewhere up here, obviously, if it's gonna stop, but I also wanna see it pull back here and push higher a bit more. Of course, obviously, it was so close to getting my limit there, which sucks, but getting out right here is still a sick win. It's still 3x, really. Wait, yeah, we're out. So we could be getting a bounce here. On the ES, we've broken this, but we've given back this whole fair value gap here. So basically, we've come to these this area here where the market found some support. And so we've pretty much hit this. The 7:45 timing right here is pretty on the money. It's made a new low though, and I want to see it. I need it to make a higher low here. I need it to break the high of this candlestick to show me some strength. Both the ES and NASDAQ are aligned in how they're acting, so that's a really good signal for a trade as well. But I need to see it break this high right here and then do a pullback. Essentially, that will be good signal that's broken this downtrend, that it's broken this area where it clearly has some resistance. It's selling off of there again. Definite double bottom potential on the ES on a 5-minute. I want to see it almost pop up here and test this area. I want to see it test this area because this is where it basically reversed, and this is the current swing high. I don't want to get in on this pullback right here. It's not enough. NASDAQ made a new swing high, but it's really not that much of a swing high. Like, this isn't enough of a pullback. I think I'm just going to call it. It's already 8:12. It's not worth staying. Okay, that's enough of a spike higher. I would go short if it made a new low. Just waiting with my order below this low. It's kind of a funky head and shoulders, but it's showing good weakness. And then we have nice target down here, 3x to the open. Good signal. That's all that matters.
Order filled.
I was patient and waited. Big picture for targets. I mean, I think going for the open is great. Just trying to give back this move. That would be the ideal thing. If it gets going, you know, we could get further down. You know, yesterday, kind of that's exactly what happened. We had a spike up, sat there for a while, and then sold off to the open. And then clearly continued lower. I think that's unlikely that I hold through that. But always, the possibility is always there. And of course, we could come down and tap this as support and continue higher if we're going to stay in an uptrend. So that's one thing to be aware of. That's not a good spike lower. I mean, that makes me think I'm just going to get stopped out. It's going to continue higher. But, I mean, I'm happy with the trade. I think I waited for a good signal. If it was going to go, that's where it was going to go. That was the good entry. But, you know, it's just fake lower and continue higher or continue and chop. Whatever it does, that's, you know, you can't control what the market does after that. All I controlled was my entry, and my entry was good. That's all that matters. Okay, so this morning the market is in a pretty crazy sell-off recently. I haven't been able to capture a trade in the last few days just because it's been really volatile in one direction. This morning we have a big spike into this support zone right now, and we're coming up to 15 minutes after that market open. The kind of this 9:45 reversal timing I like. I think if this reverses here, that's just too good of a signal. I think I'm just a little nervous over the overall bearishness of the market, but again, this is what I'm looking for, you know? And so when the signal happens, I gotta go with the signal. I'd like to not jump in on a, I need to be gaining on this right here. I think it could just rip higher off of this.
Filled.
Okay, I jump in long here. My stop down here. My sizing is a little big. Part of me would have liked to wait for this candlestick to close, but it just felt like a little high chance that it was the pullback and kind of rip up I was looking for. Pretty crazy if it just rips back down here though. That's pretty gross. So I'm basically back to break even, which is frustrating this week. Results wise wasn't great. The first trade in this week though, I thought was really good. The entry I think was kind of perfect, exactly how I wanted my strategy. I was patient, it just didn't play out. And today, there was a little bit more, the setup wasn't as strong, but I thought it was still worth a stab. And so, the results aren't great yet. I feel like I need a bit of a win right now to come back a bit, but at the end of the day, I'm trading really well. And my main focus, even though obviously in trading results are very important, with sizing up and focusing more on a few specific things and definitely being more transparent with this stuff, it's an adjustment. And as long as I'm focusing on the process and focusing on getting better consistently over time, the results will come. We're pretty much at the 10 a.m. reversal time. Nice spike, trend, spike again, and then it tried to keep going lower and it looks like it's failing. I want to see it take out this swing high right here. That confirms to me that it's starting to make new highs that are higher. So that kind of confirms an uptrend for me. So that's confirmed now. The last thing I want to see is a pullback. I want to see it essentially come down to here, maybe retest this high, and then I'll look to jump in along off of that. I'm gonna put an order up here because if it does just reverse that and break that high, I'm okay getting in before the candlestick closes. Ideally, it would close here and then push, and after, even if a little pullback, because getting in on kind of a flush higher is kind of scary sometimes, just with how the market can be. Looks like we're in long. I would like to target the open. This is the part where you just gotta be patient and do nothing. Just gotta let the market play out. Even though sometimes I wish I could just click a fast forward button, because it kind of just sucks waiting for your fate to be decided. That's a pretty gross candlestick. If it doesn't get gobbled up pretty instantly, that could be a bad sign. Hopefully it gets gobbled up. There could be a uptrend right here, but that's a pretty big bearish rip lower. Just kind of makes it seem like we're gonna make a new low or just make one more flush lower before it reverses. I mean, it is a double bottom. I don't know, dude, like, I'm just not engaged. That was a pretty nice double bottom. I'm gonna get short below this candle actually, because that's a nice little spike lower. And I don't want to get in on that spike and then it going higher. It broke that basically zone twice though, so I like that. And then I'm gonna go for essentially the lows here. Part of me is nervous that it's gonna just continue higher. Like, that's just part of my intuition, but like, I don't, other than that nervousness, like it's fit my strategy, and so I'm just gonna stick to it. Looks like it's not gonna go, it's kind of bummer flush lower like that. Doesn't feel great with these signals, just not working out very well recently. So honestly, I'm pretty just frustrated at trading right now. I feel like the last 2 weeks I've been taking mostly pretty solid looking setups. They felt great in terms of head and shoulders at my timings, following my strategy, and things just aren't working out. I don't have to have them work out very often. I'm really pretty much break even. I'm one win away from break even and being positive. So like, in terms of results, I'm really not down that much money. And in terms of improvement based on the last month, like, I'm definitely doing way better. But it still is frustrating dealing with the market it's just been crappy to trade with these last couple weeks. It'll have a big move in the morning and then it'll either continue in that direction and I'll avoid taking a trade, or it'll start to slow down and look like it could reverse and I'll jump in, and instead it'll just start to chop and I'll get knocked out. It's just really frustrating. I think to improve going forwards, trying to reset so I'm not frustrated going into this last week, but also I think being a little more picky with my zones that I'm trading off of. I think some of the zones are not quite as strong as they could be. You know, trying to just pick, some overnight random swings and seeing a flush into that. And, it could, but it's just not as high of a risk reward or higher probability. Well, I'm going to close out here. I mean, the market opened up here and just went parabolic and broke through every level I was looking at. We have this massive uptrend that it's holding. Even if it breaks that, it's likely to just pull back and continue higher, or pull back and chop around. Another day of being patient. Just gotta stick to my strategy. This week has just been so choppy. I haven't taken a trade this whole week. It's just been so back and forth. Every single day seems like it's been just choppy at the open for the first 30, 40 minutes, and then it kind of moves. We've been having huge moves in the market, but they haven't been happening in, my window of trading. And so that's been really frustrating. Overall for the month, I think I'm down like 3K, which is basically like negative 2R. So I would say basically break even for the month, which isn't great, but comparing it to the last month, it's a massive improvement. And when it comes to trading, it's all about the big improvement over the long term. Not every month is gonna go great, even if I'm trading perfectly. And as well as I am honestly, frankly, really drained. I'm gonna take all of December off from trading. I'm gonna go climb some mountains in Ecuador, and training for that has been really draining too. And so hopefully come back the new year with a lot more energy and focus on trading, so I can finally start to make some money at this new size and grow my account next year, versus, dealing with a massive adjustment and then starting to get it. And so, again, at the end of the day, trading is all about just consistent growth over time.